Hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Video Game Chronicles. And I am going to pause the Metal Storm walkthrough that I've been doing. I hope you all been enjoying it, and I'm going to continue that walkthrough tomorrow. But first I'm going to talk about something that actually happened. I don't know when it actually happened, but Retrobit revealed something about the gravity flip controls that we didn't know about. And I'm going to be talking about that today. And surprisingly enough, there's something that we didn't know about, and I'm going to reveal something about Metal Storm that we didn't know about for almost 30 years. Now, of course, this is the Metal Storm booklet that is in every single Metal Storm release that was published by Retrobit. And we're going to look at the gravity flip controls. And it reads, if up and the A button are pressed simultaneously, gravity will be reversed and you will fall upwards. If down and the A button are pressed at the same time, gravity will revert to normal. There's a problem with that. Unfortunately, the controls on the Retrobit release are wrong. And I found this out thanks to Retrobit. Now, the instruction manual for the 1991 US release of Metal Storm, the gravity flip controls is the same as what is described in the Retrobit instruction manual for Metal Storm. However, the controls for the gravity flip are actually reversed on the Retrobit release, as described in this picture that Retrobit put out on their media kit. But it also tells about a trick that you can do to revert back to the gravity flip controls that were on the US version of Metal Storm from 1991. The trick is also shown when you go to Castlemania games to buy Metal Storm, either the regular release or the collector's edition. So, as a result, I'm going to try the trick, see if it works with this. But I'm also going to try the trick with the two ROMs that I downloaded of Metal Storm, the 1991 release of Metal Storm and the 1992 Japanese release of Metal Storm. And I'm going to try out that trick with those particular versions as well. I'm going to see if the trick with this actually works with the original 1991 release and the 1992 Japanese release. Alright, the first test I'm going to do is the Metal Storm cart that I have, the Retrobit release. And I hooked up to my AV Famicom. And as you can see, they were right about the controls. That down and A. You actually hold down and you press the A button, as you can see, and down an A, or up an A, I should say. Reverses it, so they're right. So now let's try the trick. Okay, I'm holding select, pressing start twice, and then letting go. Okay, now let's try up an A and down an A. Okay, try doing this trick again. Now down an A, and then up an A. Okay, up an A, down an A. Alright, so it works with the Retrobit release. Now, what about the other versions? Oh, we're going to test that out. Alright, I'm going to test out Metal Storm for the NES. And this is the 1991 release. So now I'm going to show you the controls. And as you can see, if you look closely, see down in A doesn't work. So if I do up in A, it goes up, and go down in A, it goes down. So now I'm going to try that one trick to see if that works on here. Okay, hold select, press start twice, and now I'm going to test it out. Let's see if the down in A works. Look at that. Look at that. As you see, hit down in A, boom. Or, sorry, not down in A, up in A. Now down in A, boom. Up in A, down in A, up in A, down in A. See? It works. Alright, do select, start twice again. Do the same thing. Alright, they're retested. So, Metal Storm for the NES, the original American release, the trick works. And finally, the Japanese version of Metal Storm. Alright, and this is the Japanese version. Alright. Now we're going to try, because Retrobit said that the Japanese release is down in A, but let's see if that works. It doesn't, does it? Down in A, down in A. See, the gravity flip's not working. So that means the US and Japanese version uses the same. Up in A, down in A. See? You see that? Up in A, down in A. Which means the US and Japanese versions use the same controls. So the Retrobit release is the only ones that actually has the wrong setting for the gravity flip. But now we are going to try, well, I'm going to try and show you guys the trick on this to see if it works. Hold select, press start twice. Okay. Now let's see if the down in A, up in A trick for the gravity flip works, which is the default for the Retrobit release. Alright. Down in A, up in A. See that, folks? Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Do the select again, start twice. See if it reverts to the American controls, which is also the Japanese controls. Look at that. It works. Which means, folks, we found out a trick, thanks to Retrobit, that we did not know about when the first time the game was released. It took us almost 30 years to find out about this trick, and we gotta thank Retrobit for that. It works on every single release. That trick of holding the select while pressing start twice works. It works on the Retrobit release, which has the wrong gravity flip controls, but you can set the gravity flip controls to your liking. And of course, the American and Japanese versions, which has the correct default controls. No matter what, you can set the gravity flip controls to your liking on every single version of Metal Storm. Now you know. But now it's time to wrap it up. Here are my final thoughts about the trick. So now you know that the trick worked on every single version of Metal Storm, not just the Retrobit release. This is the first time we knew about this trick ever. It took us almost 30 years to find out this trick, that you can switch the gravity flip controls. And if you have an original copy of Metal Storm for the NES that was released back in 1991, you can try this trick for yourself. It's holding the select button and pressing start twice and then letting go of the select button. Try the trick for yourself. Trust me, it'll work. And if you have the Japanese version, you can try the trick on that as well. I tried the trick. Even though they were ROMs, I tried the trick on them and they worked. First time ever that we knew about this trick. It took us almost 30 years. So now you know. And I'd like to thank Retrobit for telling about this trick. I started it because at the time I thought maybe that the trick was only going to work on the Retrobit release. Oh no, no, no. The trick actually worked on every single release of Metal Storm. I found that out. Retrobit started it and I finished it by doing this video for you. Try the trick for yourself if you have an original copy of Metal Storm that's not the Retrobit release. That's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching. And the next part of my walkthrough of Metal Storm is tomorrow. Happy gaming. Hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Video Game Chronicles. And I am going to pause the Metal Storm walkthrough that I've been doing. I hope you all been enjoying it, and I'm going to continue that walkthrough tomorrow. But first I'm going to talk about something that actually happened. I don't know when it actually happened, but Retrobit revealed something about the gravity flip controls that we didn't know about. And I'm going to be talking about that today. And surprisingly enough, there's something that we didn't know about, and I'm going to reveal something about Metal Storm that we didn't know about for almost 30 years.